Hello everyone. In today's lesson, we would like to talk about how to write an impressive CV. I believe that CV is really important. It represents what you have done and what you have achieved so far, and maybe you only have some minutes to impress the admission committee or some professors that you're emailing to. This is really good to have a great CV to show your potential and show your background. The first thing that in writing CV is really important. Please do not copy from your friends. Please do not copy your friend's CV, or maybe please do not use some templates on Google. Maybe you would like to search, because it is really important to uh, be unique. Your CV is something that is related to you only, so it should be something that you come up with some idea. Please be innovative and write down some really great things on your CV which is specifically is about you. Okay, let's get started. Here I prefer to use Microsoft Office Word because it is user friendly and it is really easy to work with. The first thing in writing a good CV is that to have borders. Here I have borders. If you want to have borders, you could go to design, and here you have page borders. Okay, in 3D, and okay. You have different categories in your CV, and the first thing I believe is that personal information or contact information. Okay. In this part, I would go and use these bullets because I would like it to be really nice and colorful. But we will have name, nationality, birth, mobile number, Skype ID, email, address. Okay, maybe there are some other things that you would like to add here. It depends on you, and it's fine. But at least you need to have your name, your Skype ID, and your email address. Other things that maybe you would like to add is fine, or maybe you would like to, omit birth or delete nationality. This is okay. Okay, I would like to bold this because I want this to stand out. I would also change the color so it would be nice. Okay, this color is good. Okay. And on left you have written your name, nationality, birth. On right here you could uh, maybe add a personal picture of yourself. Please preferably use a formal picture of yourself, because you're writing your CV, you're emailing professors. It is a formal procedure, so please use a formal picture of yourself. And the next thing is about education. Okay, I would like to have education here, and also we could go for bullets. The first thing in bullets is that in education you could write the year that you have studied there at your university. For example, 2015 until 2017, Master of Science in Industrial Engineering, and then you could talk about the name of your university: Islamic Azad University, South Tehran branch, Tehran, Iran. Okay, and maybe you could also like to bold this one and change the color so it will stand out. Okay, I personally prefer some colorful CVs because it wouldn't be tiring for professors to see all the things in black color. So I prefer to be colorful, but it depends on you. It depends on the taste that you have, because it is your own CV. Okay, the next thing in here we could say the GPA. GPA is really important. I don't know from what country you're applying, maybe the scale of your GPA. GPA stands for Grade Point Average, okay? Maybe the scale of GPA in your country is out of 20, out of 30, out of, I don't know, 100. But when you're applying for an international program, it is really important to be international. So the international scale is usually, not all the time, but most of the time is out of 4. So please try to convert your GPA to the 4 scale. So I would say 3.5 out of 4. So by adding this, you could show to the professors that you have converted your GPA to the 4 scale. And the next thing is your thesis title. Maybe you would go I don't know, criteria decision making in selecting the best supplier. Okay, for example, this is the thesis title. And if you have published an article out of your thesis, please mention it here, because it is really good and it would be really impressive for the professors, which was published in, for example, International Journal of Productivity and Quality Management in 2018. If you have published an article or a paper in a journal, you could also hyperlink the name of the journal to the website. For example, International Journal of Productivity and Quality Management. Okay, I would go here. This is their website. So I can copy the website link here. I can hyperlink it here. So the professors or the admission committee would find the journal's website easily. So because they don't have really that much time to go and Google everything and search everything, because maybe they get maybe 20 emails a day, so it is really hard for them. So make it easy for them to go for the things that you are claiming. And also, if you have published an article, you could also hyperlink the link of the article here, so they could all easily go for the article. Okay, the next thing is abstract. Maybe the abstract would be a really good thing to add here. You could also upload the abstract of your thesis here on your Google Drive and hyperlink it here. Also, you could hyperlink it here, and and when professors click here, they can easily go to the Google Drive link and read the abstract of your thesis, and they can understand what you have done in your thesis. This is really good. And the next thing is your supervisor. For example, Dr. something, okay, Dr. blah blah blah. Write the name of your supervisor, especially if your supervisor is a really great scholar, or they have a great Google Scholar profile or ResearchGate profile. Maybe they have a lot of citation. This is really impressive. This would be really impressive for professors to see that you have worked under the supervision of a very great scholar. So please write down the name of your supervisor and hyperlink their Google Scholar, ResearchGate, or LinkedIn profile here. Okay. I think this is all about your education. Maybe also you could add, for example, 2010, 2014. Maybe this would be your bachelor's degree. You could say Bachelor of Science in Industrial Engineering. And the same thing, write down the name of your university, the GPA, thesis, title, and abstract, supervisor, everything. Okay. Okay, the next important part is language skills. Okay, let's copy this here. and language skills. Okay, and we need to add bullets here again. For me, the first language is Farsi or Persian. You could say native speaker because it is my mother tongue. Okay, and let's make it green, and also let's change it here. Okay, because I only want to use the blue color for titles and the green color for some important things. For the first thing, for the Master of Science, Farsi, or the next thing is English. Okay, so we have, for me, if I want to apply for an international program, I need to have English knowledge, and my English knowledge is C1, and you need to prove how you evaluate your English level. For example, someone may be B1, B2, or C1, or C2 even. This is important because you need to prove yourself all the time. Okay, I have academic IELTS certificate. This is why I'm saying that my level of English is C1 based off my IELTS. Okay, so you can write your TOEFL score, or maybe your Duolingo score, or PT score, whatever. Overall band score, I'm sorry, overall band score, for example, 8, for instance. And you could also go to more details. Listening 8, reading 8, writing 7.5, and speaking 8. Okay, you can also add the test date. For instance, I don't know, maybe 14th of May 2020, for example. And another thing that you could also add here is your test report. Click here. Okay. For example, you could also upload your IELTS certificate to your Google Drive and hyperlink it with here. Hyperlink the link of your Google Drive to this written click here, so they can easily see your certificate. And if you have any other language skills, you can add here. For example, if you have French skill, Italian, Spanish, etc., etc., you could also add here. Okay, but the main thing if you're applying for an English program is to have English certificate. Another skill that we'd like to talk about is awards and honors. This category is super important. You may think that this is not really important, let's escape this part, let's not talk about this, but this is really important. It can show to the professors or the admission committee how you have been awarded by other institutions, or maybe by other scholarships, etc., etc. So please mention everything that you are formally proud of. For example, maybe you have won a scholarship, maybe you were a top student during your master's degree. For example, we can say, let's change the color, ranked within the top 2% of graduating class in the master's program. Okay, you could also add the year. Okay, Another thing would be even performance. If you're a guitar player and you have performed in a cultural center, you can also add that, or maybe top student in high school or top student in morality. You can also add whatever that you're formally uh, proud of and you have been awarded for that. Okay. And the next category would be your research interest, which is really important also because research interests. It's really important because when you want to apply, you may want to start emailing some professors in advance. So your research interests should be, you know, you need to have some overlap with the professor that you're emailing to. So your research interest should be close to the professor that you're emailing or the professor that you want to be your supervisor for further study. So be really careful about your research interests. If you have published many papers, the keywords of those papers would be your research interest. For example, I have published, for example, 2 papers, and keywords, keywords in articles comes after abstract. So the keywords were maintenance management, supply chain, multi-criteria decision making, or maybe operations management, business models, etc. These things were the keywords of my articles, so these comes as my research interest. But if you have not published any papers yet, please also mention some research interest in this part. For example, you haven't published any articles, but you are interested in working in supply chain, operations management, or maybe sustainability, human errors, optimization, and so forth. Please add something here. Please, you either need to add the things that you have done in your articles or the things that you would like to be done. Okay, for example, you could say supply chain. Let's also change the color. Supply chain or operations management and things like that. Okay, you can also go up to maybe 5 or 6 research interests, but don't go further because it wouldn't be really nice because the professors would think that you want to add everything in your major to be categorized under their research interests. Okay, so the next thing is publications. Maybe the position that you're applying or the program that you're applying to has not mentioned that the candidates must have publications. Maybe you have seen some requirements on the website of the university. They say, for example, we need IELTS 6.5, we need grade point average of 3, and things like that. But they usually don't mention anything about publication. This is something that is called competitive advantage. If you have publication, it is a competitive advantage, but it is not a must. You don't have to have publication to apply for a PhD position, but if you have publication, it would be a really big help for you because it shows that you have done some great research in your background, and it would be really bold for professors and admission committees. So if you have any publications, please add here publications. If you have any, please add here and hyperlink the link of your article here, and also please be aware of writing your publications in APA style. APA style, because it is really important. If you write it in any other styles and they're not standard, the professors think that you're lying or something like that, because this is the first thing about publishing something. that the style of references should be APA. So don't forget that. Okay, after publications, we would go for conference papers. Conference papers. Okay, for this part also don't forget to write things in APA style and also hyperlink the conference website or your publication or the certificate you have gained. For example, you publish an article in a conference and you get a certificate of publishing the article. So please upload the picture or the scan of that certificate on your Google Drive and hyperlink it here so the professors can see the certificate. It is really important. And the next part is books. If you have written any books, if you have I don't know, translated any books, if you I don't know, edited any books, if you have written some review about books, please add it here. And also don't forget about APA style as well, again. And the next category would be technical reports. Technical reports are really important because it shows that you have you have done some great works in industry area. For example, you could say, I don't know, evaluation of, let's change the font. Okay, evaluation of, I don't know, service supply chain in wood industry. Okay, and 2019 maybe. Okay, this is the part that you talk about the title. You could go for green for this one. And maybe you could also bold this part. And don't forget to talk about the details, the responsibilities that you had. So it shows that that you have done some great works, because you're not only talking about the title, and they wouldn't understand about the title. Maybe they are not expert in this area, but if you go into more details, they can understand what your responsibilities were in that topic, in that area, in that project that you have done. Maybe identification of something, or maybe you have inspected some layouts of the factory and things like that. But please mention the details. Many times that when you want to apply for a PhD position or a master's degree program, they are requiring a detailed CV. This is called detailed CV. So it is really important. And the next thing is about the workshops that you have done. Workshops. Maybe you could talk about the workshops that you have done in different institutions. Maybe you have passed the Microsoft Visio, or maybe you have passed some, uh, workshops about Primavera or MSP or PMBOK and so forth, or MATLAB. Okay, and you could also talk about the year. For example, this one is 2020. You have passed Primavera in 2019, and also this part, and this part. and this part. Okay. And also before that, maybe you could add where you have passed these areas, or after that, maybe you could say, I don't know, some institute that you have passed. You could write the name of the institute. For example, you have passed these things at your university. You could say Islamic Azad University, South Tehran branch, Tehran, Iran. This could be the name of the place that you have passed the workshop. So maybe you could also hyperlink the website of the university here, and don't forget about the colors here, here. So we want, maybe add these colors because we really want this to stand out in the eye of the professors. And then you could go to your academic experiences. Academic experiences. You could add here, for example, February 2017 to present. Let's change the color. Okay. You could say that I was, I don't know, maybe English teacher. And talk a little bit about your responsibilities here. Maybe teaching, I don't know, English to adult learners from elementary to advanced level. Okay. And then you could add the institute that you have been teaching English. The institute here, for example, I don't know, add a name of an institute here. Okay, if you have any further academic experiences, for example, you have been teaching assistant of some units of some subjects at university, or you have been editor or member of the board of a student society at your university, or anything like that, you could add to academic experiences. And after academic experiences, we would like to talk about professional experiences, which is related to the industry work. You could add here that, for example, from January 2015 until February 2017, you have been the, I don't know, maybe ISO, IEC, and expert. Okay. And then talk a little bit about your responsibilities that you are inspecting, maybe inspecting or maybe you have, I don't know, evaluation systems, etc. Talk about your responsibilities. You could also talk about another professional experiences. Maybe you had an internship during your bachelor's degree or master's degree, or you have worked in some other companies as well. You could add here about as one of your professional experiences. The next thing is that is also really catches the eye of the professors is your computer skills. Especially in today's modern technology, it is really important to have some computer skills. If you know how to work with MATLAB or Lingo or Python, I don't know, Primavera, any other softwares that you know, you could add here as one of your computer skills. It is really important. The next thing that is the memberships. Memberships. Maybe during your studentships at university, you've been the part of your, I don't know, student society of industrial engineering or any other society that you had in your university. At your university, you could add here. For example, we could say September 2010 to September 2012. Uh, you were member of Scientific Society of Industrial Engineering. And the next line, you could also add the name of your Islamic university. So you could say uh, you've been the member of the society. So it could be really good to add everything that you have done in your background. The next thing is about voluntary work. Maybe some of you think that this is not really important to write these things here, but it really is. It really is important. So if you have been a supporter of a charity, or if you have done some charity work, please add it here. Please add the name of the charity. Please add the name of their website. Please hyperlink their website. It is really important. The next thing after voluntary work would be personality trait. How you evaluate yourself as a person. Please don't go for too positive. Don't say I'm a great leader. Leadership is one of my personality traits and things like that. Please don't be too positive, but mention some things that you think that you are capable of. For example, adaptability, responsibility, or willingness to learn, and things like that. Maybe team working and things like that. Don't go for too positive adjectives for describing yourself. They would think that you're full of yourself, which would be a negative point for you. And the next thing is hobbies. This is really important as well, because they really want to know how you evaluate yourself and how you spend your free time or your leisure time. So add something that you do as a hobby, maybe run. Maybe some of you would like running, or maybe, I don't know, photography, or maybe, I don't know, reading. These things could be some of your hobbies. Add anything: playing the piano, playing the guitar, watching movies, walking, going out, having a cafe, uh, having a coffee in a cafe, maybe things like that. Okay, and next, which would probably be the last one, is your references. Your references is the name of professors that you have talked about, maybe in your publications, maybe the professors that you have worked with in your publications, or your supervisors, or people that you have mentioned in your CV. But it is mostly the people that you have published some articles with, or your former supervisor. Please add their name here. For example, Dr. I don't know, add their name. I'm just saying, I don't know if this person even exists or not. Dr. Jack Brown, okay, and write the full affiliation of your professor. You could say assistant professor assistant professor, Department of Industrial Engineering, Islamic Azad University. For example, this is just for example, okay? And then here you could add his email, for example, jackbrown@yahoo.com. I don't know if this person even exists or this email even exists. I'm just saying it. And also, if Dr. Jack Brown has a great Google Scholar profile or ResearchGate, you could hyperlink it here as well. You can also add maybe 3 or 4 other people here as your references, and they would maybe the professor or admission committee would like to contact them and ask them, okay, for example, this guy has mentioned you as one of his references. Do you, and ask some questions about you from the references. I know that they usually ask for recommendation letters, but this has happened for some of my friends. It might happen for you as well, so be aware when you're writing someone's name on your references part in your CV. Please tell them, let them know, so if the admission committee or if the professors contacted them, they will be aware that you have written their name there. Okay, so I think that's it. This is all about the CV. Please do not hesitate if you have any questions about writing CV for me, and I hope that you could come up with some other great ideas to make your own CV unique and specifically for you. And I have written some information here for you. Maybe you would like to change the bullet, the color of bullet, the font that I have used, the color of the font that I have written here. Maybe you don't like the format. Be innovative and add something to it, so it becomes unique for you. Thank you very much for watching this video. Bye bye.